Howdy, howdy, howdy. It's Rodfather 916. I'm a baby boomer. I've lived through several presidents. Probably in my lifetime, the most controversial was George Wallace, who was, I believe, he was the governor of Alabama, and he was a segregationist from the South. And he was the most controversial. He personally blocked black entry in some universities and some schools. So in my lifetime, he was the most controversial, but I've never seen anything like Donald Trump. And this video is, I'm reaching out to black and Latino males, young men who are considering voting for Donald Trump. Even though he says things like, he doesn't want people coming over from Muslim countries. He banned Muslim when he first came into office. He calls black nations and brown nations S-hole countries. It doesn't want any immigrants from where black people are, and certainly not where Mexicans are. In fact, he wants to get buses. He says if once he becomes president, he wants to get buses, round up all the Mexicans and take them home. On the other hand, in 2018, he was talking about immigrating more Norwegians and people from Norway in that part of the country. He has a history with racism. 75, he and his father settled with the government. The government sent plants because there were all this controversy about him not letting people of color in his buildings, and the federal government got involved. Things I'm referring to, I encourage you to look up on Google or Yahoo. But they settled. Black and Hispanic applicants were told there were no vacancies. Or in the case of black, they were told the rents were double what they actually were. And the federal government got involved. And there were lawsuits and delays. We know what this is. And this is, again, mostly Fred Trump, Donald's father. The settlement was that there was going to be a watchdog to watch from this point forward, make sure that anybody except for people on welfare, that was the compromise, would be able to rent in those properties, and that the Trump organization would advertise in minority newspapers about vacancies. Look that up. Then we have the Central Park Five, where 5 black and Latino kids between 14 and 16 were accused of raping and beating a white jogger in Central Park. Years later, after it was discovered that they were innocent, Donald Trump didn't let up. In fact, at the beginning, he wanted them to die. He encouraged those young kids to be killed by the government, and he put in ads encouraging this in New York newspapers. And later on, after they were vindicated, this didn't happen. They didn't do it, and the state of New York settled with them for $41 million. So the 5 boys had $41 million. Donald Trump was against that. Didn't matter if they were innocent. So he's against abortion. He's not happy with people of color. He's tried to do away with health care. Thank you, John McCain, we are indebted to him. Anybody who gets any affordable care or Obamacare. But you have some black young black and Latino men considering voting for this man, which is detrimental to their future based on what he said. He meets with members of white supremacy organizations. He praises Hitler. Come on. Putin. Come on. This is somebody, yes, he's entertaining. But what's the deal? This is your future. I'm not going to be here. This is your future. So give that some thought. Again, I'm no one. You can look it up or not. You can vote for someone who just wants your vote. Well, all the appointees are like 3 or 4 black people. How many Asians did you see? You know, he attacked McConnell's wife, who's Asian. And he's 2 years older. I mean, he's going to turn 78 next month. Listen, I'm not a Democrat. I have issued Democrat, and I think Democrats have taken the black vote and Latino vote for granted. I got that. But right now, look at what our choices are. Someone who hates us because of our skin color. We're not the right skin color. Someone who meets with white supremacists. Someone who praises and emulates Putin and Adolf Hitler. Help me with this. Make it make sense. This is the Rodfather wishing everybody love, joy, peace, and happiness. Think about it. Do your homework. Come on. I'm not talking to the MAGA people. They've decided they are, but I'm confused about someone who would vote for someone who's going to set their house on fire or their parents' house on fire. Why would you do that? This is a Rodfather wishing everybody love, joy, peace, and happiness. Trump is not the way. That's all I got. Bye.